One time in school we were learning math and I was bored because it's math, so I asked the teacher to go to the bathroom. On my way there was this cute guy who walked past me. I decided to be bold and talk to him. He was nice enough to walk me to the bathroom. I finished using the bathroom and walked out to find him leaning against the wall. I told him I would be fine walking to math class alone, but he insisted I go with him somewhere. I was confused and curious, so I went along with it. He took me to a janitor's closet, and when I asked why he took me here, he just looked down and whipped out his.
One time I had this boy that I liked over at my house to watch the Emoji Movie as a joke for our first date. We were eating lunch and sitting in two separate chairs. We were having a really nice time making fun of this awful movie and finally got to the end of it where all of the emojis are having a dance party in the club together and doing the godforsaken emoji pop. Then the guy I'm watching the movie with tells me to look at the elephant emoji in the back of the scene doing the dance with his ears, and I laughed so hard looking at how stupid it was, that I pissed my pants. I didn't want to explain the fact that I peed my pants to this guy, so I had to ask my crush to go downstairs with no explanation while I cleaned up the chair I was sitting in and changed my pants. So he stayed downstairs by himself for like half an hour as I washed away my shame. A few months later when we started dating, I told him I pissed my pants on our first date, and he said he knew all along, but that he didn't want to embarrass me for pissing my pants laughing at the fucking Emoji Movie. One time my boyfriend came over and we decided to do the dirty. Anyways, it was great, but his phone was in his pocket when he did it and he accidentally somehow but dialed 911. We were getting down and dirty and everything was going swell until we heard knocks on the door very aggressively. We thought it was the dog making noise outside the door until we heard a man yelling to open the door. We both got dressed really fast, went outside, and saw it was the police. I was scared because I thought they found out that I stole a bathing suit from Target, so I started sobbing. Then they asked what was wrong and I couldn't stop crying, so my boyfriend asked why they were here, and they explained they got a 911 call and heard yelling on the phone. I immediately stopped crying and ran inside the house of embarrassment, and my boyfriend just said everything was fine, then closed the door. Right after he closed the door, he heard laughing from the police, and now we know that they found out we were having sex.
One time me and my friends snuck out of the house at night and we went to McDonald's. The employee was asking where our dad was. We didn't know what to say, so we just said he was waiting in the car. Then this big muscly guy walked in and the employee asked if he was our dad, and for some reason we said yes, even though we had no clue who he was. The guy paid for our food. We thanked the man and left, but then he followed us out of the restaurant and told us if we didn't come with him he would stab us. We were scared, so we just did what he said. We were in the back seat of his truck and we were freaking out. But my friend found a glass bottle in the back seat and smashed it over the man's head. The man fainted and we saw he had a pocket knife on his dashboard, so we took it and stabbed him in the arm a few times. We got out of the car and ran back to my friend's house. To this day we haven't told the police and we don't know if the man died. Thank you for your submission.
One time in grade 2 it was home time and I was waiting for my mother to pick me up. When she didn't show up, a teacher took me to the office and said I had to wait there until my mom came. I was waiting there for 2 hours until my mom showed up, saying she was asleep and had a dream that I got picked up. Somehow she ended up doing it again the following day, but it was 6 o'clock and they told me I had to leave. The teacher tried asking me for directions to my house. I had no fucking clue and I was embarrassed, so I just pointed to a random house and said that it was mine. She asked if I wanted her to come. Obviously I said no because that's breaking and entering. Anyway, when she left I started walking around randomly until I saw one of my friend's house whose birthday I went to. Her mom freaked out because it was like 7 at night and I was lost. Then she started driving me around trying to find my house. She tried to find my mom's phone number because it was given to her at the birthday party. She ended up finding it and called my mom. She didn't answer, so she said I could just stay the night. At 11 p.m. my mom called her back freaking out.
I told my mom I was sleeping over at my friend's house, but I was actually going to my boyfriend's house because his family was out of town. Keep in mind he lives on the other side of town, so he picked me up in his car. Everything was going great until he asked me to walk to 7-Eleven to get both of us Slurpees. I left my phone charging in his room, which was stupid. It was like 4 a.m. when I left and my boyfriend said to ring the doorbell when I came back, so when I came back I rang the doorbell and no one answered, so I threw a big rock at his window and the window shattered. He didn't open the door for me though, which was weird because I literally broke his window. His door was locked and the window was on the second floor, so I couldn't get up. I was locked outside and I didn't know what to do, and I couldn't go to my house because it was on the other side of town, so I just hid in the bushes and eventually fell asleep. In the morning my mom drove past his house. to visit her friend and she saw me in the bushes sleeping and thought I was dead. I'm a heavy sleeper, so when she yelled my name I didn't wake up, so she called 911. When the ambulance came I had woken up because of the sirens and I was woken up too. My mom and like 5 people surrounding me in the ambulance. I was scared, so I screamed and told them everything. The police were there too, so they went looking for my boyfriend since he hadn't opened the door when I broke his window and rang the doorbell. Turns out he got really drunk while I was gone and he
One time when I was 13, I went to my best friend's house and she had just gotten a boyfriend, but she told me she was afraid to kiss him because she had never kissed anyone before. I told her that she shouldn't worry about it and I'm sure that she'd do fine, but I laid down on her bed and she asked me if we could make out as practice. I said that it was fine because I wanted to help her out, but it was kind of awkward at first. Then she got on top of me and I thought it was going a little too far and she started humping me, and then we heard footsteps, so she got off, but when nobody came in the door she got back on top of me. And we kept making out for an hour and a half.